Nuances. Just be okay with the idea that your views are not always right. Oh, and also be okay with the idea that, you got to be aware of the perspectives outside of your own morals, values, religious beliefs, even strong held beliefs that are probably not even religious in nature. Also, try to be more understanding that not everything is going to be black and white in your life. Now, let me do a little counterpoint to my initial intro there. Please stop with all this forcing yourself to make everything nuanced. Not everything needs to have nuance. You don't got to go looking for nuance in every single corner of every single conversation. Some things should still stay black and white. Otherwise, people lose themselves. Yeah, you drank too much Kool-Aid. You got lost in the sauce. There's this idea that people have in their heads that they truly, truly in their heart believe that everything should be black and white. Kind of like society rules or laws in the government that for the most part, I agree with. Let's give example of somebody invades your home and you kill them because you were protecting your house. You were protecting your family, your kids, your pet dog. And that's where the nuance comes in. Maybe we could replay the footage and see if it really was self-defense. Otherwise, you're just a cold-blooded killer, kind of like everybody else, out here carrying a gun, wishing, I wish a dude would. Then yeah, I would say in that case, you're equally as evil as the home invader. You were just waiting for the opportunity to arise. The opportunity was there. You took the shot. That I wouldn't say is black and white. You're a murderer just as all the other murderers before you, and there's going to be after you. Now, one of the laws I know I would not change would be the FLSA or the Fair Labor Standards Act. This is what makes the government step in on your behalf from protecting you from your employer. They have these building codes to make sure you're not working in an unsafe environment because, if the building were to collapse, if the building were to catch on fire, you got to make sure that you're okay and you're safe while you're working there. They also help over time pay wages. They have to make sure the employer is paying you the correct minimum wage and not just giving you dimes and nickels. We're not working in a sweatshop here, and that's what the FLSA is to prevent stuff like that from happening to you. So, of course, my biased opinion is going to say, yes, I'm going to need that to be not nuanced. I'm going to need that to be black and white. Run me my cash and make sure I'm safe because my employer's over here playing games. We don't play that. I need that to be black and white. Another one I would say would be stealing, robbery. That's my house. That's my car. That's my wife. Don't touch her. Whether you believe it in the thou shalt not is irrelevant. But I think as a collective society, we can all agree I have stuff, don't take my stuff. If you have stuff, I shouldn't take your stuff. There's no nuance there. There is definitely a black and white, don't touch it. There's no need for you to break into somebody's house and take their stuff just because you lack stuff. And the cool thing about just learning nuances, you'll understand things a lot more. You won't be, as the hood says, one track minded or narrow minded. You won't always be living in that black and white, and then you'll never actually understand people. Socrates, I think, was if you study psychology, you probably know the quote, but it was something to the extent of, I know that I know nothing. I don't remember the exact quote, but what that refers to is us as humans, we have the ability to discern right from wrong. We have the ability to be know-it-alls, like you see on the internet, so confident and also wrong. But we also have the ability to look at ourselves and go, hey, you know what? I don't know that. I am ignorant on this topic. Let me open my mind to learning this topic. And especially because I know I'm wrong or I have the capability to be wrong and not know every single subject, I can soak it up like a sponge. That's essentially what the quote was saying. We need to do that more. And sometimes we do it on just an everyday basis. Here's an example. Girls, fellas, you have a problem. Let's say with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. You run to the girlies to get their point of view. Hey guys, da 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 da. Tell me if I'm wrong. Man, my girl acting up. She acting like this. Da 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 da. This happened. And then there you go. You're asking for an opinion on what you think is going on, what you think the solution should be or can be based off of your mind, your eyes, your lens. So of course now when we reach out to these people, they give us their point of view. a lot can happen there. You can still be like, yeah, no, my friend is wrong, or my brothers and sisters, my mother, whoever gave me this opinion, my mentor, they're wrong. You can still do that. But to have that open mindedness to go, okay, now I see where, he or she went wrong. Now I see where I internally went wrong. They were doing this and I was doing that. This is the middle ground, so to speak. And that's the level of understanding that I think we all need, which is where, again, the nuance comes in. You have to be humble enough to let yourself know, okay, I'm wrong in this situation. And then because I'm wrong, I can learn from it. And it's not even about being wrong, it's just about understanding how that person got from point A to point B. Even if point B was an assumption, I can see how you actually, why you thought that or how you came to that conclusion. Sometimes it's that level of understanding is all you need. Literally, that's all you need. And you don't even have to agree with it. All you need is really just that understanding. Otherwise, you're going to be wandering and wondering why people don't seem to be siding with you, why nobody understands you. How come I can't keep a boyfriend, a girlfriend? How come I can't keep a husband or a wife? And that is because you are unaware. You have not matured enough to see that you are not always right. And heck, I could even argue the fact that sometimes both can be true. I'll give an example. I would like to work out, but I also want to sit on my butt and watch Netflix with my wife. That right there is a paradox in itself, but both are true. Another example can be, I'm feeling sad, yet relieved. How? Well, because I'm deeply in love with somebody, but I dislike a certain trait of theirs or traits of theirs. Now, an absolutist black and white type of frame of mind might say, well, if you hate my traits, you hate me. Well, if you hate my flaws, you hate me as a whole. And that is untrue, because the more nuanced version of this would be, I love you overall, I just don't like these specific things about you. That doesn't change how I feel about you as a whole. So what I'm saying is nuance is all about awareness, be it self-awareness or just being aware of your surroundings and how the world operates outside of your brain, your eyes. It's how the world works. You see all the little moving pieces because now you're aware of, oh, this is why people do that? Now I get it. Which is perfect. That's exactly what you need. We need these aha moments. We need that light bulb to go off because that is what's inevitably going to help you grow as a person and to finally be receptive. You can't be walking around the world thinking, no, my way's the right way and it's the only way. I can guarantee you right now, if you were to jump on YouTube, Instagram, or any type of social media thing, let's just stick with Instagram and YouTube. Right now, if I were to log on and say bicep workout, they're going to show me things with dumbbells. They're going to show me things with machines. You're going to see calisthenics. You're going to see more than one video on how to work out those biceps, your arms. Even the workouts have nuance. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's where we're going to leave off this video. I need to know, do you live in absolute black and white? Do you allow stuff to be nuanced in your everyday life? Or are you just this hardcore contrarian where everything has to be nuanced? Let me know down below.